Hi there, Mrs. Lindquist here. So today we are going to talk about the law of sines and how it applies to oblique triangles. So you can see an oblique triangle does not have a right angle. So they are all the triangles that are not right triangles. And the law of sine says sine of angle A divided by little a is equal to sine of angle B divided by little b, which is congruent to sine of angle C divided by little c. So what this means is if you have angle A, the ratio of that to its opposite side is congruent to the ratio of sine of B to its opposite side. So we can use the law of sines to find missing sides and missing angles of triangles that are not necessarily right triangles. So the next few examples will illustrate that. In addition to the law of sines, there is a law of cosines, and we will get to that in our next lesson. Example 1 says, use the law of sines, round to the nearest tenth. So in triangle PQR, so I will label this as angle PQR, the measure of angle R is 39 degrees. The measure of angle Q is 32 degrees. And PQ, that length is 40 centimeters. So your first step is to make the picture and label out the angles and sides that you know. And then they're asking us to find RQ. So RQ would be this length right here. So we'll just call that X. So we're going to use the law of sines to figure out this length. Now the law of sines only works when you have an angle and its opposite side. We have one ratio we can see is we have the sine of 39 divided by its opposite side of 40. And we want to know this side, but the problem is we don't know this angle. But we can easily find this angle since we know the other two, and we know there's 180 degrees in a triangle, so we can subtract off the 32 degrees and the 39 degrees. And we're going to find out that this angle is 109 degrees. So this is going to be congruent to the ratio sine of 109 degrees divided by X. So that is the side that we don't know. So when we're solving a proportion, we can cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to have X times the sine of 39 degrees equals 40 times the sine of 109 degrees. All right, it's important that when you are solving these out that you do make sure that your calculator is in degree mode since you are doing sine of a degree measure. So make sure that you check your mode out on your calculator. Make sure it's in degree mode and not radian mode. So to finish solving for X, undo multiplying by sine of 39 degrees. So we're going to divide by sine of 39 degrees. We're going to get an approximation here. Again, some calculators give these parentheses. Make sure you close it off to show that you're only taking the sine of 109. So you're going to type in your calculator 40 times the sine of 109, close your parentheses, divided by sine of 39 degrees, close your parentheses. And when you do that, you're going to get X is approximately 60.1, and we want to definitely put units on this. So since this side length is in centimeters, ours will also be in centimeters. All right, so let's take a look at example B. In triangle RST, little t is 7. So if this is angle T, then the side across from that would be little t, which is 7. Little r is 13, so across from angle R, we're going to have 13. And the measure of angle R is 110 degrees. Find the measure of angle S. So this is what we're looking for right here. What is that angle? So do we know a ratio? Well, yes, we know the sine of 110 over 13 will be equal to, well, isn't this a problem? Because we can't find this angle measure right here because we don't have the opposite side. So we can't have the sine of angle S over something we can't have two unknowns in one equation. So we don't really have enough information to get this angle, but we do have enough information to get angle T. So if we wanted to get angle T, we could do sine of t over 7. So let's find angle T first, and then we'll be able to find angle S after we know these two angles. So again, we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to have 7 times sine of 110 is equal to 13 times sine T. And we're going to divide both sides by 13. So when we put this in our calculator, 7 times sine of 110 degrees divided by 13, we are going to get 0.506. Leave all those numbers in your calculator equals to the sine of angle T. And remember, if we're looking for a missing angle, to get rid of sine, we are going to do a sine inverse. So to get angle T, we are going to do the sine inverse of 0.506 ... When you're typing that in, you type sine inverse, you can actually press second answer on your graphing calculator and it will put in the whole decimal. Otherwise, try to put in as many digits as you can so that the angle measure is as accurate as possible. So T, the measure of angle T, is going to be approximately 30.4 degrees. We know that is angle T, but they're looking for angle S. So in order for us to get angle S, we're going to just take 180 and subtract off the 110 and subtract off the 30.4 that we got for angle T. And so the measure of angle S is going to be about 39.6 degrees. And so there you go. So we can see in this problem we weren't able to right off the bat solve for angle S because we didn't know the angle and we didn't know its opposite side. So we had to find angle T, and then that led us to get angle S. So sometimes you have to go a little bit out of your way to get what you're looking for. Okay, so that is how you do law of sines. In the next part of this video, we'll be talking about how to find the area of an oblique triangle.